the man is also accused of providing veneer training sessions. He charged $6,000 for this course.
Welcome back to the channel. Prosecutors say a man who branded himself as Atlanta's top veneer specialist is now indicted on 113 criminal counts after investigators claim he was never a licensed dentist. According to WSB-TV, Brandon Dillard allegedly performed cosmetic dental procedures like veneers on clients who believed they were working with a legitimate professional. Authorities say the operation brought in around $4 million, all while he allegedly lacked the credentials to legally practice dentistry in Georgia. But it goes even deeper. Prosecutors claim he did not just charge clients for veneers. Investigators say he also made money selling training courses and certifications, charging others thousands of dollars to become veneer specialists themselves. Authorities allege clients and trainees were misled into believing everything was legitimate, which is why he is now facing serious charges including RICO violations, theft, and practicing dentistry without a license. Now watch closely. In this compilation, you will see how this operation allegedly worked, how it was promoted online, and why this case is raising major questions about credentials, cosmetic procedures, and social media marketing. Before we get into the clips, be sure to like and subscribe, and drop a comment if you think social media makes it too easy for fake experts to look legit.
A man who called himself Atlanta's top veneer specialist was charged with felonies for practicing dentistry without a license. This man allegedly scammed patients out of $4 million. The man reportedly opened A-List Smiles Atlanta, which looked like a legitimate office with dental equipment, and allegedly led clients to believe he was a veneer tech who provided services. Furthermore, the man is also accused of providing veneer training sessions. He charged $6,000 for this course. And if you're wondering, there is no such classification as a veneer specialist or veneer tech in Georgia. I wanted to share this story because it is so important to make sure that your providers are licensed in dentistry and healthcare in general. If a veneer was simply just cosmetic, anyone could do them. It takes a skilled professional to provide these services to patients without causing harm. Here's a little video I found on Instagram. It shows a little bit of the classes he was teaching for veneer techs.
Now, if anybody was going to beat Florida Man, it would definitely be somebody from Atlanta. So I don't know if you remember nephew right here, who was the first of his kind, at least known to me, to become a veneer tech. He's now being hit with the RICO. Just for everyone's edification, most of the professionals inside of healthcare have to meet 3 minimum criteria. First is education, right? You cannot go and apply for a job as a doctor without going to med school. 2 is licensure. Before I became a nurse, I had to sit for the NCLEX. Once I passed, that state said, yes, here's your license to practice as a nurse. And then second is credentials. Credentials sometimes can be the actual degree, or you go for other certification. So I'm a board certified acute care nurse practitioner through the ANCC. They grant me those credentials. Other examples would be taking the CPA exam, passing the bar in your given state, doctors that go and take their board certification. Okay? Those things are required because people that practice within healthcare, there's a direct correlation between them practicing, meeting that minimum standard, and public health and public safety. You just can't make up your own healthcare profession and go running around the town doing stuff to people's mouth where there's blood and other bodily fluids involved. That's just, you can't do that. And not only can you not do that, being blatant advertising these services, training other people to do these services, flaunting the money you're making from the training and, taking people's money by doing their veneers in their basement or your own suite is against the law, as we can see by this RICO charge. I don't think he's going to be the last of his kind. Other people will come and try to do this because there were other people after him doing braces and all this other stuff. But you let me know in the comments, is the RICO charge too much?
Do you remember the so-called Atlanta veneer tech who went viral about a year or so ago? Well, prosecutors say he made about $4 million illegally practicing dentistry, and they've officially charged him with RICO. I'm Jill Wicker, a culture reporter in Atlanta, and like a lot of folks, I've spent the past year obsessed with veneers, the illegal ones, the legal ones, and everything in between. And so I stumbled across the story of Brandon Dillard and A-List Cosmetics. Earlier this year, I talked to a man in Memphis who says he learned about Brandon from social media. Brandon had done Rolly from Batty's teeth, and so the guy figured he was good enough to do his too. He booked an appointment and came to Buckhead to get his teeth done. The man says the procedure went well and the office looked professional, clean. But a few weeks later, he bit into a graham cracker and some of his veneers fell out. By the time Brandon was able to see him for a follow-up appointment, it was months later. When the man got here, Brandon had been arrested. Prosecutors say he was never licensed to practice dentistry. And this year, they've officially indicted him for it. Prosecutors say Brandon not only made this $4 million by practicing dentistry illegally, but also by certifying other veneer techs to do the same. And for the record, professional dentistry associations say veneer techs are not a real thing, and they're not licensed to do any of this. Anyway, prosecutors say Brandon and his girlfriend, who also worked for the company, made so much money that they could afford luxury items in a $1 million condo in Buckhead. Prosecutors are now charging Brandon with violating Georgia's RICO statute, multiple counts of theft by deception, and practicing dentistry without a license, among other things. I wrote about the story for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. You should check it out.
Getting a RICO case for being a veneer tech is crazy work. And it being in Scam City, aka Scam Atlanta, aka Atlanta, it's very fitting. So this guy, Brandon Dillard, got 113 counts. And I'm assuming because he was training other people to do this same criminalized stuff, has been slapped with a RICO case from the height of it. Now, y'all know, I told y'all a couple of months ago, I went and got veneers. And I did a lot of research for this exact reason. Because what I was finding was the people who were online or on Instagram seemed to be technically like veneer techs. Like they were doing it in weird places. Some of them had offices, but some of them were doing it like in their basements and all that. And that just didn't seem right to me. These are not lashes you can put on. So you had to really research and get around. And I saw stories here on TikTok of people saying their veneers were falling out or they were hurting, they were pushing into their gums. Y'all gotta stop taking the shortcut and making money, but taking the shortcut and gaining the things you want. You do it with veneers, you did it with BBLs, all sorts of stuff. Like, yes, I eventually went to Columbia to get mine done, but the dentist I went to, I was able to research. She did part of her training here, part of her training in Columbia. So that was a licensed dentist. And now, old boy, all for the sake of money and flexing on Instagram, is about to actually get charged with RICO instead of Diddy. This is amazing.
Atlanta man was indicted on 100+ charges this week for running a fake veneer business where he made millions of dollars without any medical licensing, just made it up. And on top of it, he was teaching others how to do the same exact thing. This is Brandon Dillard. He was known as the top veneer specialist and trainer in Atlanta. He had close to 165,000 followers on his Instagram before he was arrested in 2024. It was all a facade. Prosecutors say he was unlicensed, made $4 million charging for veneers and training others. 54 counts of theft by deception, 24 counts of practice of dentistry without license, 21 counts of battery, 1 count of violation of the Georgia RICO Act. Getting RICO'd for veneer businesses is nasty work. RICO was originally created in order to take down the New York Mafia, I believe, and now it's taking down fake doctors. While Brandon was really popping off, there was a new trend within Atlanta in 2024, as you can see from this tweet, where there was people teaching others veneer tech, where you spend 2 days getting a certificate and use equipment from Timo to do unlicensed dental. 8+ year dental students realizing all they had to do was take a 2-day online veneer tech class. And here's a guy with a fake license and then the meme of Drake. And I think that's Yachty. I'm like, oh. Training sessions by Brandon were for individuals eager to become veneer specialists, charging over $6,000 per session. However, in Georgia, there's no such thing as a legal veneer specialist or technician. Veneer tech. Brandon's videos and Instagram have all been taken down. But videos like this remain on social media where he does the before and after, even though this woman's teeth look pretty good. But he would do the whole veneer thing, and then I haven't found any horror stories, so I guess maybe he was doing a good job. I don't know, but he's going to jail for a long time. For a long time.
As the resident TikTok dentist who stays on these veneer techs' necks,
You know, it came across my desk about the young man having, what's that, like 113 indictments or whatever, you know, for being a veneer tech and making $4 million over the span of his short-lived career. And you know, someone tapped me on the Shade Room, which I haven't followed the Shade Room in years. I don't frequent those parts unless I'm there to start some mess. So of course I commented on the post and was like, yes, I'd like justice to be served, because I would like justice to be served. And I see some of the comments that are like, but did the people like their teeth though? My people. That's the issue. That's the issue. I'm sure I didn't read too deep because I didn't have time to run my blood pressure up. But I'm sure there are other comments along the lines of, oh, y'all just hate it because he was getting a bag. Y'all trying to stop his bag. I want more for my people. I heard Teeth by Tisha's still on tour. So let me know. Are you still touring, Tish? It's sad. You know, obviously you don't want to see people go to prison, but if you're committing crimes, you do. In which case I do. Dentistry is serious, and I know people think it's just teeth and it's just looks, it's just, you know, aesthetics, toilet bowl white teeth. It's not. It's more than that. You know, these teeth are connected to your head, which contains your brain, you know, and has blood vessels that go to your heart, lungs, stomach. It's important. Who's monitoring that? I see patients every other day with lesions on their tongue and they have to go be evaluated and it's cancerous. How does he know how to look at that if he's just playing with your teeth? It's dangerous, right? But people are still going to do it. You know, I don't think that their veneer tech king is going to be much of an example because people are greedy, right? People want millions. They don't care at whose expense. But people like myself who spent 12 years in school to be a licensed, and not just 12 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I haven't even seen $4 million yet. And Lord, who knows when I'm going to see it? Who knows when I'm going to see it at this point? I have the degrees and the licenses. Plus some. It's crazy to me. I want justice to be swift. I do. I'll be waiting. I'll be tuning into the court case. Call me Meg. Let me get a Bob, because I'm going to be Meg, like Meg with the Bob. And be all in that case, because I want to know what comes of that.
Listen, them Atlanteans told Nigeria to hold my beer and watch me work. Because this, my friend, is a prime example of thinking that you are bigger than the program. Ain't no way this veneer specialist is being indicted for over 100 charges, including a RICO charge. Like, I really want to know the confidence and the audacity you have to possess to do criminal activity out loud. Like, he was posting his work as if he was a legit dentist and had a license to practice. I mean, there was no shame in his game. He wasn't trying to be undercover. Matter of fact, he was working on celebrities. He made over $4 million by being the top veneer specialist in Atlanta. And people were in the comments defending him, saying, I don't understand what the big deal is. He did good work. Let that man be and do what he wants to do. And from them comments, I could tell that them folks ain't been to the dentist in 5 years. Because if you went to the dentist on a regular basis, you would understand the seriousness of somebody playing in your mouth. Like, my God, the level of invincibility that he thought he had. Like, the fact that he did not realize that quick money, if it ain't legit money, you're going to get caught.
Do y'all remember the Atlanta veneer specialist? The one who made millions performing cosmetic dental surgery on people without a license? Well, he was indicted on November 21st, and the indictment includes 113 counts against him. His charges go back as far as 2021 to 2024, and he was actually sent a cease and desist by the Atlanta State Dental Board, but he continued to practice dentistry without a license. Now, a patient of his said that she went to him to get partial veneers, and she was gonna go back, but when she went to her dentist to get like a routine cleaning, the dentist immediately noticed that something was wrong. She said he kept asking, who did this? You need to be careful. Did he have a dentist certificate? I was like, I don't remember seeing any of that. I should have known. Listen, people gotta be careful who they going to for veneers or any type of cosmetic surgery for that matter. do your homework, do your research, and ask for licenses and certificates, okay? Now, as far as him, I do think it's going to be a lot of wasted potential behind bars. I really truly feel like they should just let that man go to school and get his, license. Give him a really big fine, a big ass fine, right? And then he could pay back Atlanta. And then he could open up his business again. I don't know. It seems like this is what he wants to do for real.
This case is a reminder that online branding does not equal real credentials, and cosmetic work is not something to gamble with. Prosecutors say the investigation is ongoing, and more details could still come out. So follow for updates, share this with someone who needs to see it, and comment your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.